What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I am Tony. Today's Friday. As usual, we do our Q&A, or also Ask the Magic Watch Ball. Magic Watch Ball is fun. It's a lighthearted way if you want to ask a question. She answers. She can be rude. She can be a smartass. The Watch Ball is 79% accurate 68% of the time. So it's just a good way of making fun of a lot of the people in the watch world that try to predict everything and they can't because they don't have a crystal ball. I have a Magic Watch Ball. This is the spiel I do every Friday when we do this, in case you're a new subscriber and whatever. So if you want to ask a question to the Magic Watch Ball or myself, then just drop a comment and ask your question, and it'll be featured in my next Watch Ball Q&A. If you just ask a question, Watch Ball, I answer it, and then I give my 2 cents worth. And if it's just for me, then I just answer it. Simple as that. And super stoked. Heading off to Nashville in about a week and a half. I will be working with a major artist, producer, 2 Grammys, hit songs, and he's going to be on my channel. We're going to do a drink and a chat. So I will let you know more when the time comes. Also going to be shopping for watches in Nashville, so I hope you can join me on that trip, and I'm sure you will because I'll have the video. All right, so let's roll the intro and let's get started. All right. Okay, so the questions aren't in any particular order. In fact, I read them real quick when they send them to me, when you send them to me, and then I print them out and I don't see them again until right now. Occasionally I'll just glance through them just to see, what's going on here. But anyway, so the first question comes from Robert P5123. Tony, thank you for the video. Dude, I'm wearing my Zenith Pilot with the orange strap because it's Halloween. Sorry. All right, Robert P5123, thank you for the video. I was able to recently pick up the Moonswatch, Pluto, Saturn, and Mars. It's one per customer, so I had my wife and a kind gentleman from the mall came with us to get all 3. So some random dude just said, hey man, I'll go with you and get you one. I'll just, talking to your wife, I mean, how are we gonna get 3 when there's only 2 of us? And some guy's like, hey, I'll go. Did you buy him a lunch at the food court? All right, sorry, man. Congratulations on that, by the way. That's awesome, and I hope you enjoy them. On another note, what are your thoughts on the Rolex Pepsi? I've been on the wait list for 2.5 years, and I hear the rumors that Rolex will discontinue the model due to the difficulty in making the bezel. Any thoughts? Yes, and I also have another question that's related to this question, so I'm going to read that too, because this one comes from Nightman Cometh. Nightman Cometh. A mister from another sister. How you doing, brother? For the Magic Watch Ball, Pepsi stainless steel future for 2024. Coke finally making its debut. Curious what the watch ball might say. Thanks, the mighty watch ball, MWB. That's what I assume. All right, man. 2.5 years. I hope. As far as my thoughts, Rolex, they're very sneaky, man. So I've been asked this question before, and I've done videos before. It's difficult, it's hard, yeah, but I'm willing to bet that Rolex knows about all of these YouTubers talking about it. So in my opinion, I don't think they're going to discontinue it, because Rolex don't quit. If we can't do it, we're going to make it work. And they'll do it. They'll make it work. That's what I think. All right. Now, let me ask the Magic Watch Ball for Nightman Cometh. And by the way, Robert, thanks for your question. Okay, so for the Magic Watch Ball, Pepsi stainless steel future for 2024. I don't foresee it going anywhere soon. I believe it may be around for a little bit longer. Possibly it could be discontinued, but I don't foresee it in 2024. maybe in the near future. And plus, what are they going to replace it with? Would it be the Coke? Would it be the Coke? Would the Coke finally come back? I don't see the Coke coming back, but if it did, maybe in a different variation. I still can't see it happening. All right. There you have it, Nightman Cometh. Appreciate your question, dude, and you got my 2 cents worth. I don't know, man. It's one of those things, you know. For all we know, the Batgirl could be discontinued and they replace it with the Coke or something else. Who knows? You know, Rolex, man, they do the exact opposite of what everyone talks about on YouTube, you know. So I appreciate your comments. Johannarin, or it could be Johannarin with a J, soft J, Johannarin, 2787. Thanks. Been looking at Mont Blanc. Seems good for the price. And thanks for your review. A question that you probably get a lot. You don't seem like a flipper. I don't know what a flipper seems like, but you are correct. I am not a flipper. How many watches do you currently own? How many watches make a good watch collection in your opinion? Thanks again, and rock on, watch brother. Love, Johan from Sweden. From Sweden. Okay, so Johan. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know how many watches I own. I do own a lot of watches. Too many watches. I don't count. I don't, you know, but what happens is some of them go in boxes and I don't see them for a while, and then I stop wearing them. Some of them go in the bank and then they stay there because I'm too lazy, you know. A good collection, in my opinion, man, that's all up to you, what you want. You know what I mean? You could have a collection of 3 watches that are just totally killer. You know what I mean? Like, you could have a Rolex Datejust, a Submariner, a Rolex Datejust, a Daytona, a Rolex Datejust, a GMT Master 2. There's plenty of other watches. I'm just kind of, you know what I mean? It depends on your budget, you know what I mean? So I could be more specific in like a 3-piece collection if you want, but there's a lot of watches I would have to sort of, you know, you send me another question and I'll answer that. But and how many? Okay, so yeah, man, it's up to you how many you want. You know what I mean? You have. I always say you can't have too many watches. Well, apparently you can, because a lot of them I don't wear. But I try to wear all the ones that I have. You know what I mean? And some of the, I'm talking about my sort of more luxury or expensive ones. I try to, unless they're just put away. You know, but I wear the watches that are in my daily rotation box, and that hasn't changed in a long time. You know what I mean? Like my GMT Master 2's like stuck around for a long time in my daily wear box, you know. So yeah, thanks, brother. Hey Tony, oh, this comes from my sister, my little sister. You all know her as Metagirl. Maybe a watch ball question. We're watching a really interesting interview with Blancpain's CEO, and he talks about how their watchmakers can spend a year just making a single watch. He talks about the hand finishing and how everything is in-house. Why is it that Patek Philippe is considered more exclusive and more stringent purchase process, and is more expensive than Blancpain? Watch ball, do you want to answer that? I know it was maybe for the watch ball. That is so in-depth as a question to be answered thoroughly on such a short channel. Patek Philippe are just better watches. They're more sought after. The demand is higher. The demand is greater. And they're more expensive for a reason. There you go. All right, look. So here's the thing. It's a lot of it. Okay, so Blancpain, we all know, born in 1735. They are the oldest Swiss watch company in the world. But they're not the oldest Swiss watch company in the world. Days. Oh, fuck, dude. Really? Is this what it comes down to? Vacheron Constantin are the longest, oldest running Swiss watch company. Blancpain are the oldest, except they've had periods where they've stopped and started again. You know what I mean? You know, and a lot of it comes down to, okay, let's just talk about Patek Philippe, or, you know, you couldn't give away the Nautilus or the Aquanaut, you know, a few years ago. You know what I mean? Anyone could walk into an AD and buy one. You know, it all really started with this hype and this whole pandemic, you know what I mean? And a lot of it has to do with, I think, you know, AP, Gerald Genta watches became like the big rage. And then the 5711 Patek, you know, the only watches that were so sought after were the 5711 and the Aquanauts. But it's a lot of it's, in a weird sense, is luck, because a lot of the Pateks aren't that are sought after at all. You get a lot of them way below retail, but you know, it's one of those things that you know, it's luck. I mean, look at Breguet. You know what I mean? Breguet should be right up there too, like with Blancpain. You know what I mean? In fact, even higher up than Blancpain. And I think it's just what, you know, what catches and what goes, and you know what I mean. You just don't know. It's like a songwriter or a musician. You know, one of them, you could have them equally as talented as one another. In fact, one less talented that skyrockets to the ultimate, you know, makes it fucking huge, and the other one, you know, ends up working at Taco Bell or some shit. You know what I mean? It's things you don't know. So as far as that goes, it's just, you know, Patek sort of got that thing. You know what I mean? It's that it factor thing. It's like you got what it takes, but you don't necessarily know. Star quality in a sense. Blancpain have just been under the radar, man. They've never, I'm not going to dog them because I love Blancpain, but they're just an under the radar company, a brand, you know what I mean? Their dress watches are really nice, and you know, the 50 Fathoms is their sort of star quarterback, so to speak, you know? And there's a lot of controversy over whether or not they were the first dive watch over Rolex, you know what I mean? But you know, but then let's move away from that. Why are they so difficult? The owner, or you know, the CEO of Patek, or Thierry Stern, is you know, I mean, those are just his rules. You know what I mean? And by creating that sort of, I don't know if you want to call it the fear of missing out or fear of things you can't get, then you want it more. It's like what the Moon Swatch with Swatch Group, you know what I mean? You can't get them in stores, or you can get them in stores, you can't get them online. There's that hype. There's that creates that, oh my God, I have to have it and I don't know why. You know what I mean? Because the 5711 is not the best looking watch in the industry, is it? You know what I mean? It's not complicated at all. It's the most simple form of what they have, isn't it? So, and now the 5811 or whatever, of course. So yeah, I don't know if that helps. I'm sorry if I couldn't be more articulate in my answer, but you know, there's a lot of luck in that too, you know. Thanks, I appreciate your question, Meta Girl. All right, Gordon Harwell, worst watch decisions. Gotta love this one. Your recent advice, which was awesome, on Shinola and the really critical Swatch watch reviews, made me think about watches you buy that bring about collector's regret. The first category is any regrets on watches you let go. But yeah, a lot. Any regrets on watches you could have bought but chose not to? Yeah. When I requested from Juan the Wimbledon Datejust fluted bezel, and he got it for me like fucking 3 days later, man, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger. It was just like I'd literally just bought, I think it was the Zenith or something that I just bought. It was another big spend like just before, you know what I mean, and I just couldn't justify it, and I let it go, and I wish I hadn't. It doesn't mean I can't get one again, and I don't fret about it, and I don't worry about it. And if whatever I want, I'll ask him, and if it takes time, I'll wait. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hit the gray market for anything. As far as watches I let go, yeah, I mean, there's been a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch of Cartiers I've let go. Some of my older Rolexes, like I had a 39 millimeter Oyster Perpetual. I had I had 3 36 millimeter Datejusts. I just let go. You know what I mean? Kind of wish I hadn't. What can you do, you know? You can't live your life on regrets, man. You just got to sort of suck it up and move on, you know? For the watch ball, is there any brand that gives you the icks, just don't speak to you and have no interest? Watch ball, any watch brands that give you the icks? There's way too many, but I can start with Invicta. Absolutely disgusting. No thank you. There you go, Invicta. All right, man, Gordon, I appreciate your questions as always. Next, last, and whatever. Here we go. This is from user KB9BQ80Y5Y. That's a strange name, dude. Did your mother name you that or your dad? Or was it a collaboration? Great video as always, Tony. Question for you and the watch ball. If looking at Rolex watch on the gray market and it's missing the white hang tag, is there another way to verify it hasn't been a dial swap? Can a watch authenticator verify? Also, why do some ADs confiscate the white tag and others don't? It's part of the purchase. They should include it. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. Well, you're for the watch ball. On the gray market watches, can a watchmaker authenticate a dial? It's very difficult. It would be very difficult if, for instance, if the dial was aftermarket, then it wouldn't be too much of a problem. You would have to take it to a Rolex expert for sure. If it's an authentic dial that was swapped out, then no, not really. Because basically the hang tag is what tells you the serial number of the dial color code, so to speak. So yeah, that's the thing, man. If you're gonna go gray and you don't get it, and so it's really mostly important with the OPs, the colored OPs. You know what I mean? The turquoise blue or the Tiffany blue, whatever, the red, yellow, and whatever. You know, those are the most important watches. If you get it from the AD, as long as you're going to keep the watch, you're fine. What does it matter, right? But then if you decide you want to sell it, again, it's only really more important with the colored dials, the OP dials. But you know, it can go with a Daytona that has a John Mayer dial in it, or say a John Mayer would be solid gold. So just say you have any other dial, then it's important to a certain extent, man. It is part of the full set. I don't know why some dealers decide to keep it, maybe to stop you from trying to flip it. Flipping is not a thing anymore really so much. I mean, some of the watches are still over retail, but you know, so I don't know, man. But I thank you all for your questions as usual. Again, if you want to ask a question, go ahead and leave a comment. I appreciate everyone who subscribes, likes, comments. I mean, it means the world to me. And the views, you know what I mean? It's people that, you know, that make me motivated, and last few videos have gotten just shit views. I mean, I still get views, but it's not like a lot of views. So I don't know. I want to keep doing this, but I also want to be able to have the views, you know. It's like, if that helps. All right, you guys, take care. Have a great weekend. All right, we'll see you soon.